Let me tell you something, life has a way of knocking the wind out of you. It'll hit you with disappointment, failure, and rejection so hard that you start questioning if you'll ever make it. You'll look around and feel like everybody else is winning while you're stuck. But listen, that feeling of hopelessness, it's a lie. It's temporary. And it's not bigger than the power inside you. See, the problem ain't that you fell. The problem is you think you gotta stay down. You don't. Life is about getting back up, dusting yourself off and moving forward, even when it don't make sense, even when you don't see the way, because there is a way, you just gotta keep walking. Too many people give up too soon. They throw in the towel right before their breakthrough. You ought to wonder how many times you were just one step away from your blessing, but let doubt talk you out of it. You can't do that no more. You've come too far to quit now. I know what it feels like to be at rock bottom, to wake up feeling like there's nothing left. Sit in your car and cry because you don't know how you're gonna make it. But let me tell you this, rock bottom is a blessing. Yeah, you heard me right, because when you hit rock bottom, there ain't nowhere to go but up. The only thing standing between you and your next level is the belief that you can get there. You see, hopelessness is a mindset, not a reality. It's your mind telling you there's no way out, but that's not true. There's always a way. But you gotta decide that you're gonna find it. You gotta stop listening to the voices that tell you you're not enough. Those voices will lie to you every single time. They'll remind you of every failure, every mistake, every time you didn't mean to measure up. But you know what they won't tell you? That you are still here, that you are stronger than what tried to break you, that you still have time to turn it all around. Faith and fear can't live in the same house. You gotta pick one. You can either believe that something better is coming, or you can sit in the dark and expect nothing to change. But let me tell you, choosing faith will change everything. It don't mean the struggle disappears overnight, but it does mean you'll have the strength to keep pushing. Success ain't about luck. It's about pushing through when it's hard. It's about showing up when you don't feel like it. It's about believing in something you can't see yet. Every successful person you admire had a moment where they thought about quitting, but they didn't. And that's why they made it. You are not forgotten. You are not too far gone. I don't care what you lost. Well, they said, well, how bad is it when your story ain't over? You still got chapters to write. And trust me, the best ones ain't behind you. They're ahead of you. If you woke up today, that means your purpose ain't finished. You still got something to do, something to give, something to become. And I promise you, the pain you're feeling right now, it ain't gonna last forever. So stop looking at your situation like it's the end. It's not the end, it's the middle. And in the middle, things get messy, things get hard, things get confusing. But if you just keep moving, you'll walk right into something greater than you imagined. Somebody out there needs you to keep going. Somebody is watching you, whether you know it or not. Your kids, your friends, that one person who looks up to you, they need to see you rise. They need to see you win. Because when you win, you give them permission to believe they can win too. Let me tell you something, hopelessness is the biggest lie you'll ever believe. It'll whisper in your ear, when you're there, situation will never change and you'll never make it, that you're wasting your time even in timing. But that voice, it's not the truth. It's fear talking. It's doubt trying to hold you back. And if you listen to it, you'll stay stuck in a place you were never meant to be. Every struggle you've been through, every tear you cried, every sleepless night you've had, it didn't break you. You might feel exhausted. You might feel like you have nothing left, but let me remind you of something. You are still here. You're still breathing. And that means you still have a purpose. The fact that you woke up today is proof that your story isn't over yet. See, the problem isn't the struggle itself, it's what you tell yourself about the struggle. If you convince yourself that things will never change, you'll stop looking for a way out. But if you remind yourself that storms don't last forever, you'll keep moving even when it's hard. Life is always shifting, always changing. And just like the bad times came, the good times can come too. You just have to hold on long enough to see it. You are stronger than you think. The fact that you've made it this far proves that. There were moments you thought you wouldn't survive, but you did. Times you thought you'd break, but you didn't. So don't let hopelessness make you forget the strength that's already inside you. You've overcome too much to start doubting yourself now. And here's what you need to remember. The way you feel right now is not permanent. Hopelessness will try to trick you into believing that your life will always be this way, but it won't. This is just a season. And like every season before it, it will pass. What you do in this moment, whether you give up or keep pushing, will determine what comes next. So now is not time to quit. Now is the time to dig deep, stand up, and take the next step forward. Life will knock you down. That's a guarantee. You will face disappointments, failures, and setbacks times when it feels like everything is falling apart. But let me tell you something, falling is not the problem. Everybody falls, everybody stumbles. The real problem is when you convince yourself that you can't get back up. That's when hopelessness takes over. That's when you start believing the lie that you're done. See, life doesn't measure you by how many times you fall. It measures you by how many times you rise. Some of the most successful people in the world have failed more times than they can count. But they didn't let that be the end of their story. They got up, they adjusted, and they kept going. That's what separates those who make it from those who don't yet. It's not talent. It's not luck, it's resilience. Pain has a way of making you forget your own strength. When you've been knocked down enough times, you start believing that's where you belong. But that's not true. You were not made to stay down. You were not created to live in defeat. You have the power to rise, no matter how many times you've fallen. The only thing standing between you and your next breakthrough is the decision to get up one more time. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. What you're going right now is not the end, it's just part of the process. And let me tell you some of the greatest victories for creating the hardest falls. Because when you get back up, you don't just rise, you rise stronger, you rise wiser. You rise with a fire inside you that wasn't there before. And that fire is what will push you forward. So don't stay down. Don't let the weight of failure convince you that you can't stand up again. You've made it through tough times before, and you will make it through this. The only question is, will you keep fighting for your future, or will you let this moment define you? Because the moment you decide to rise, everything starts to change. Let me tell you something, your breakthrough is closer than you think. I know you've been grinding, trying your hardest, and it seems like the finish line is just too far. You feel like you're stuck in the same spot, putting in the work and getting nothing in return. But here's the thing, success often comes right after the hardest part. Most people give up when they're just one step away from their breakthrough. They let doubt and fear convince them that it's never going to happen. But what if you're closer than you think? Think about it for a second. Every great story of success is filled with moments where the person almost quit. They were down to their last dollar, their last ounce of energy, their last bit of hope, but they didn't quit. And that's what made all the difference. They stayed in the game long enough to see the result of all their hard work. Your breakthrough is not in the distance, it's just on the other side of the struggle you're facing right now. You might feel like you've given all you have and there's nothing left to give. But let me remind you, strength is built through resistance. The harder the fight, the greater the reward. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it. The fact that you're facing challenges means you're being shaped for something bigger than you can imagine. So don't give up now, because that moment of success is coming, and it's coming soon. Every day you wake up and keep pushing, you're getting closer. You may not see it, but every house step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your breakthrough. It's easy to look around and think everyone else has it together, but trust me, the people you admire didn't get there without their own struggles. And just like them, you will get there too. So when that voice of doubt tries to convince you that it's not worth it, remember this, you're on the verge of something great. That breakthrough you've been dreaming of is waiting for you just beyond the next challenge. Keep going, because you're closer than you think. And once you break through, everything you've worked for will make sense. It'll all be worth it. There's something powerful about hitting rock bottom. It feels like you've lost everything. It feels like the world has turned its back on you. You're standing in the middle of your struggle, overwhelmed by the weight of it all. But here's the truth: when you hit rock bottom, you have nowhere to go but up. It may feel like the end, but it's really just the beginning. Because from that place, you have a chance to rebuild yourself. You have a chance to rise higher than you ever thought possible. See, the thing about rock bottom is that it forces you to face what's inside of you. It's easy to keep going when things are good, when everything is working out. But when life hits you hard, when you feel like you have nothing left, that's when you discover the real strength inside of you. That's when you find out who you really are. Rock bottom strips you of everything that doesn't serve you, and it leaves you with the one thing that matters: the power to change. You might not see it right now, but being at your lowest point can be a blessing in disguise. It's in these moments of struggle that you learn your most valuable lessons. You learn what you're truly capable of. You learn how to be resilient, how to fight for your future, and how to trust yourself. And if you're at the bottom, there's no more pretending. You have to get real with yourself and ask the hard questions. And in those answers, you'll find the key to moving forward. In your lowest moments, you're not alone. Every successful person you know has been through their own version of rock bottom. They've been knocked down. They've faced rejection. They felt lost. But they didn't stay there. They used that moment to fuel their comeback. When you're at rock bottom, you realize just how much fire you have inside you to rise again. It's from this place that you learn to push beyond your limits, to rise when everyone else thinks you can't. So if you're at rock bottom right now, don't lose hope. This is not the end. It's the foundation of your next chapter. This moment, painful as it is laying the groundwork for something greater. You're in the process of becoming someone stronger, someone wiser, and someone who knows how to rise no matter what life throws at you. Rock bottom is the starting point for your greatest comeback, and it's all part of the journey to your breakthrough. Hopelessness is not the truth. It's a mindset. It's how you see your circumstances, how you interpret the challenges you face. When things aren't going your way, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that this is the way it's always going to be. But let me tell you something: just because you feel hopeless doesn't mean you are hopeless. It's a lie that you've allowed your mind to believe. And the moment you change how you think, you change how you experience life. Your mindset is the lens through which you view everything around you. If you believe that failure is the end, that you're where you are forever, that's exactly what you'll get. But if you choose to believe that every setback is temporary, that every struggle is part of your growth, then that's the reality you'll begin to create. Mindset is the difference between seeing a problem and seeing an opportunity. It's the difference between giving up and finding a way through. The mind is a powerful thing. It can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Too many people allow their minds to control them, to dictate what they can and can't do. But what if you took control of your mind? What if you decided that hopelessness has no place in your life? That's when everything starts to shift. You have the power to train your mind, to fill it with thoughts of hope, possibility, and strength. And when you do that, the world starts to look a whole lot like different. The way you think about your situation will either keep you stuck or move you forward. It's so easy to get caught up in negative self-talk, to listen to the voices that tell you you're not enough, that you don't deserve success, that those voices aren't the truth. You have the ability to quiet them. You have the ability to replace those thoughts with ones that remind you of your potential, of your worth. When you change your thinking, you change your life. So if you're feeling hopeless right now, It's time to flip the script. Stop seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances. Start seeing yourself as someone who can rise above them. Because when you choose to change your mindset, you're choosing to change the direction of your life. The power to overcome hopelessness lies within you, and it begins with the decision to see things differently. And once you make that choice, there's no telling how far you can go. Faith and fear cannot coexist. They are opposites, and when one is present, the other cannot take root. It's a choice you have to make. Will you believe in your future, in your potential, or will you live in fear of what could go wrong? Fear will always try to steal your joy, your peace, and your progress. It will make you second guess yourself, doubt your decisions, and keep you stuck in a place of uncertainty. But faith will push you forward, make you believe that no matter how difficult things are right now, something better is on the other side. When you choose faith, you're choosing to trust in yourself, in your journey, and in the process of becoming. You're not focusing on the obstacles in your way, but instead on the goal ahead. Faith allows you to see opportunities where others see problems, to believe in the possible even when the evidence says otherwise. Faith doesn't ask for proof, but it moves ahead, even when the road is unclear. But fear will keep you frozen, questioning your every move. It will paralyze you, preventing you from taking risks and stopping you from moving toward your destiny. Now, it doesn't mean fear won't show up, it will. Fear is natural. It's that little voice in your head that says, what if you fail? But the key is not letting fear make decisions for you. You don't have to ignore it, but you don't have to let it control you either. The truth is, you can feel fear and still move forward. It's not the absence of fear that leads to success, it's the decision to act in spite of it. When you choose faith, you acknowledge fear's presence, but you refuse to let it decide your fate. You have to ask yourself, what do I really believe in? Do you believe that you have what it takes to succeed, even when things seem impossible? Do you trust that your future is brighter than your present struggles? Or do you let the fear of failure keep you from taking that next step? The decision you make will shape your life. Faith will take you farther than you've ever been, while fear will keep you standing still, trapped in a cycle of doubt. So the choice is yours. Every day you have to decide if you're going to walk by faith or let fear control your actions. When you choose faith, you're choosing to believe that everything you need to succeed is already inside of you. You're choosing to take that leap to face the unknown and trust that you'll land on your feet. And when you do, you'll find that faith wasn't just about the future, it was about what you were able to achieve in the present by deciding to step out, even when fear tried to hold you back. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about persevering through it. Every successful person you admire has faced moments of doubt, struggle, and defeat. They've had times when they wanted to quit, when it felt like nothing was working, when the path ahead seemed too difficult. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is persistence. It's the ability to keep moving forward even when the odds are against you. Success is built on those moments when you feel like giving up but decide to keep pushing anyway. You see, doubt is a natural part of the journey. It's easy to believe in yourself when things are going well. But what happens when you hit a wall? What happens when things go wrong? That's when most people give up. They let the doubt take over, convincing themselves that they're not good enough or that they've reached the end of the road. But success doesn't come from avoiding those moments. It comes from how you respond to them. Every time you choose to push forward, even when you're uncertain, you're building the momentum that will eventually lead to your breakthrough. Persistence is about showing up every day, even when it's hard. It's about doing the work, even when you don't feel like it. It's about keeping your eyes on the prize, even when the journey seems longer than expected. Most people don't realize how close they are to success when they give up. What they don't see is that success often comes right after the hardest part. The people who make it are the ones who kept going, even when everything inside of them was telling them to quit. What you need to understand is that failure is not the end, it's a lesson. Every setback, every mistake, every failure is an opportunity to learn and grow. If you allow yourself to get discouraged by these setbacks, you'll never move forward. But if you see them as stepping stones to success, you'll keep pushing, keep striving, and keep improving. The more you persist, the stronger you become. And every time you overcome a challenge, you're one step closer to success you've been working for. So when you feel like quitting, when doubt creeps in and makes you question whether you can go on, remember this. Success comes from persistence. It's not about being perfect. It's not about never failing. It's about never giving up. Every successful person you look up to has faced the same struggles, the same doubts, the same moments of hopelessness. The only difference is they didn't stop. They kept going. And because of that, they made it. So keep going, because your persistence will take you farther than you could ever imagine. No matter how bad things seem right now, your story isn't over. I know it feels like you've reached the end of the road, like everything you've worked for is slipping through your fingers. But listen to me, the fact that you're still here means there's more to your story. But the pain you're feeling, the struggles you're going through, these are just chapters in the book of your life and not the final chapter. Your journey is far from over. There's still more for you to experience, more for you to accomplish, and more for you to give to the world. When you're facing tough times, it's easy to get lost in the moment. It's easy to feel like your life has come to a standstill and that there's no way forward. But just because things are difficult now doesn't mean they'll always be this way. Life has a way of surprising us. It has a way of taking us places we never imagined. Sometimes the hardest moments are just setting us up for something even greater. Your story isn't defined by your struggles, it's defined by how you rise above them. Every great success story is filled with moments of doubt, disappointment, and defeat. The people you look up to, the ones who have overcome incredible odds, they didn't get there because they had it easy. They got there because they kept going when things looked bleak. They understood that life is a series of chapters, and one bad chapter doesn't mean the story is over. So don't let this chapter be the one you let define your entire life. There's still a whole story to be written. You have more in you than you realize. The dreams you've been chasing, the goals you've set, don't give up on them just because things aren't working out the way you expected. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to come back even stronger. And when you look back on this time in your life, you'll see that it was just a stepping stone to something greater. Now keep going. Keep believing that your story is still unfolding. There are still so many amazing things waiting for you. If you're feeling like everything is falling apart, remember, your story isn't over. The journey may be tough right now, but it's far from finished. You have the power to turn the page and start a new chapter. And that chapter, it could be your best one yet. The best is yet to come. And as long as you're moving forward, you'll keep discovering new possibilities. This is just a moment in your story, and there's so much more to be written. Keep going, because your story is far from over. Where pain won't last forever, no matter how heavy it feels right now. I know it may seem like the struggle you're facing is never ending, like it's consuming every part of your life. But I want you to hear the struggles are temporary. They may feel intense and they may feel like they're defining your world, but they are only one part of your journey. Pain is a season, and like all seasons, it will pass. What you're going through today will not last forever, even if it feels like it will. What you have to remember is that pain has a purpose. It's not there to punish you or to hold you back, it's there to teach you. Every struggle you face has the potential to make you stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Our life doesn't hand us challenges because it wants to see us fail. It gives us these challenges because they are opportunities for growth. The lessons you learn during this painful time will stay with you forever. and will shape who you become. In fact, the person you're becoming through this experience is far more powerful than the person you were before. When you're in the middle of pain, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. All you can focus on is the moment, the heaviness of what you're feeling. But the beauty of life is that things change. What feels like an insurmountable obstacle today may look very different tomorrow. Each day you wake up, you're one step closer to healing. And with each step, you're becoming stronger and wiser. This pain may feel like it's consuming you now, but trust me, it will not define your entire life. Struggles teach us the most important lessons. They teach us about our own resilience, our ability to overcome, and the strength we never knew we had. When you look back at this time in your life, you'll realize that what you learned during these difficult moments will serve you in ways you never expected. Pain can be a powerful teacher, shaping you into someone who is more compassionate, more driven, and more capable of handling whatever comes next. The lessons you take from the struggle will help you navigate the challenges that lie ahead. So don't get discouraged by the pain. Remember, it's temporary. And while the pain might last for a while, the strength and wisdom you gain from will last a lifetime. Keep moving forward, knowing that the struggle is not the end, it's just part of the process. And when you look back, you'll see that the pain didn't break you, it built you. It made you stronger. And now you're ready for whatever comes next. The pain won't last forever, as the lessons will stay with you and continue to guide you through every challenge ahead. You are your own hero. This is a tough, but it's also the most empowering one. I know you've been waiting for a sign, for someone to come along and make everything better. You've been hoping for a breakthrough or a miracle to pull you out of your situation. But here's the truth, no one is coming to save you. You are the one who has to take control of your life, step up and fight for your future. The power to change your situation lies within you. You are the one who holds the key to your own destiny. We often wait for things to change, for life to become easier, for someone else to step in and fix things. But what we fail to realize is that we are the ones who need to take action. Waiting for someone else to save you is a trap. It leaves you powerless and stuck in a cycle of hoping and waiting. No one knows your dreams, your struggles, or your potential better than you do. It's up to you to take responsibility for your life and your story. You must rise up and become the hero of your own story. Taking responsibility isn't always easy. It means facing the truth about where you are, where you've been, and where you want to go. It means acknowledging that while circumstances may not be ideal, you have the power to change them. The road ahead may be difficult, and there will be setbacks along the way, but the only way to move forward is by taking full responsibility for your actions, decisions, and mindset. You can't change the past, but you can shape your future, and it starts with you. You are the only one who can push through the hard times, who can keep going when the road gets tough. You are the only one who can decide to keep fighting, even when it feels like the fight is too much. There's strength inside of you that you haven't even tapped into yet. But you'll never know just how strong you are until you decide to take responsibility for your life. When you stop waiting for someone else to save you and realize that you are your own hero, you unlock a power within you that's been there all along. So stop waiting. It's time to take control of your own story. You are the hero of your journey, and it's up to you to fight for your future. The power to change your circumstances, to overcome the challenges, and to create the life you want is in your hands. You don't need anyone to rescue you. You've got everything you need inside you already. And when you step into your own power, you'll realize the hero you've been waiting for has always been you. Now it's time to get to work and build the future you deserve. Keep moving no matter what. This is one of the most powerful pieces of advice you can hold on to when you're facing hopelessness. Life can be overwhelming, and the challenges you face may seem insurmountable, but the key to overcoming any obstacle is to keep moving forward. It doesn't matter if you can't see the full path ahead, or if you feel like you're barely making progress. As long as you keep moving, no matter how small the steps may seem, you're still moving in the right direction. The journey is built one step at a time, and each small step brings you closer to your goal. There will be days when you feel stuck, when the weight of the world is pressing down on you, and you can't see the way out. On those days, the most important thing you can do is keep moving, even if it's just a little bit. Even if it feels like you're not getting anywhere. The truth is every movement counts, and the progress isn't always measured by leaps and bounds. Sometimes it's measured by the fact that you got up, tried again, kept going. Every effort, no matter how small, is part of the bigger picture, and eventually all those little steps will lead to something much greater. When you're going through tough times, it's easy to feel like you're failing because the results aren't immediate. But let me tell you something, success is a journey, not a destination. If you only focus on the end result, you miss the power of the process. Each step you take, no matter how small, builds the foundation for your success. Even if you can't see the progress right now, trust that every little action is getting you closer to where you want to be. The more you keep moving, the more momentum you build, and before you know it, you'll be further along than you ever imagined. Sometimes luck doesn't give us the big wins right away. But even on the days when everything feels like it's falling apart, you have the power to keep moving. Maybe today's step is just getting out of bed or making a phone call or writing down one goal. Those small actions matter. They are the building blocks that will create the life you want. And as long as you don't stop moving, no matter how slow or small the steps you're on your way. So if you feel like the road is long and the destination is far, just focus on the next step. So no matter where you are right now, no matter how hard things seem, keep moving. Each small step you take will bring you closer to the breakthrough you're looking for. But don't get discouraged by the distance ahead, just focus on the step in front of you. Keep pushing forward, even when it feels like you're not getting anywhere. Because as long as you keep moving, you are making progress. And that progress, no matter how small, will eventually lead you to something greater than you ever imagined. So stop waiting for somebody to come save you. Nobody is coming. You have to save yourself. You have to be the hero of your own story. And trust me, you are strong enough to do it. You were not put here to struggle forever. You were not put here to just survive. You were put here to thrive, to shine, to inspire. So get up, wipe those tears, straighten your back, and take the next step, no matter how small it is. But you dare give up now. Your future self is counting on you. Your dream is counting on you. And most importantly, the version of you that fought to get this far is counting on you. Don't let yourself down. If this message hit you, if you felt that fire inside you, then do something about it. And before you go, hit that like button, share this with somebody who needs it, and subscribe to Motivational Fire, because we're just getting started.